Imagine two children. One grows up hearing, "I'm proud of you." The other grows up hearing, "Nothing, no criticism, no praise, no attention." Which child has the harder life? Most people assume abuse leaves the deepest scars, but psychology suggests something even more dangerous: being ignored. Because when nobody notices you, you begin to wonder whether you even matter. And here's the terrifying part: that invisible wound doesn't stay in childhood. It quietly follows you into adulthood, into your relationships, your career, your confidence, and yes, even your bank account. Today, we're uncovering the hidden psychology of the ignored child, and why understanding it could completely change the direction of your life. Stay until the end, because the final lesson explains why some ignored children become wildly successful, while others stay trapped in cycles they don't even realize exist. Children don't need perfect parents. They need to feel seen. When a parent consistently ignores emotions, achievements, fears, or even simple conversations, the child learns one devastating belief: asterisk, my feelings don't matter. Here's what's fascinating. The brain isn't designed to distinguish physical pain from social rejection. Ignoring someone literally activates many of the same pain pathways. Imagine carrying that feeling every single day for years. Eventually, the child stops asking for attention. Not because they don't need love, but because they've learned asking won't change anything. And that's where adulthood begins. You become the person who apologizes too much, the person who never negotiates a raise, the person who settles for less than they deserve, because deep down, being overlooked feels normal. Pattern interrupt asterisk, ever text someone, then immediately pretend you didn't care when they left you on read? Yeah, that coping mechanism usually started long before smartphones existed. But this wound doesn't just damage confidence. It actually changes the way you chase success. Let's talk about that. Ignored children often grow into adults with one impossible mission: maybe if I achieve enough, someone will finally notice me. Suddenly, success isn't freedom. It's validation. Every promotion, every expensive car, every luxury apartment, every impressive title becomes emotional proof that they're finally worthy. On the outside, highly successful; on the inside, still chasing approval that never came. Here's the irony. No amount of money can heal emotional neglect by itself, because the goal keeps moving. I'll feel enough when I make 6 figures. Then, when I hit 7. Then, when everyone admires me. The finish line never arrives. Pattern interrupt asterisk, it's like buying a bigger TV hoping it'll fix your Wi-Fi. Wrong problem. Success is incredible, but using success to replace love, that's a race nobody wins. Yet something even more dangerous happens. The ignored child becomes vulnerable to financial mistakes. Money isn't just math. It's psychology. People who grew up emotionally ignored often spend money trying to purchase emotions. Status, acceptance, belonging, luxury becomes armor. Designer brands become confidence. Debt becomes temporary happiness, not because they're irresponsible, because they're trying to fill a hole money was never designed to fill. This explains why some high-income earners still feel broke. They aren't buying things, they're buying identity. Real wealth works differently. Wealth is built by delayed gratification, by investing, by patience, by emotional discipline. Ironically, the same emotional awareness missing in childhood becomes the exact skill needed for financial freedom. And this leads to one surprising truth: some ignored children actually become unstoppable. But why only some? Pain can become prison or fuel. The difference isn't intelligence, it's awareness. Some people remain trapped by childhood stories, others rewrite them. Instead of asking, "Why wasn't I enough?" they ask, "What can I become?" That tiny shift changes everything. Resilience grows. Self-awareness develops, discipline strengthens. These people stop chasing validation and start building value. Not because someone is finally watching, but because they respect themselves. That's when confidence becomes internal instead of borrowed. And internal confidence creates something extraordinary: consistency, the habit that builds businesses, investments, careers, generational wealth. But one hidden obstacle still remains, and it's the hardest one to overcome. Ignored children spend years hoping someone else will finally recognize them. Healthy adults learn something different. You don't need permission to believe in your own worth. That sounds simple. It's incredibly difficult. Because your brain prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar growth. You might even reject opportunities because success feels uncomfortable. Not impossible, just unfamiliar. This is why healing isn't just emotional. It's practical, setting boundaries, choosing healthier friendships, learning financial discipline, building confidence through action instead of applause. Every wise investment, every difficult conversation, every promise you keep to yourself teaches your brain something new. I matter, not because someone finally noticed, because you did. Here's the truth. Being ignored wasn't your choice, but staying invisible to yourself is. Your childhood explains your patterns. It doesn't have to predict your future. The most powerful people aren't those who never experienced pain. They're the ones who transformed pain into purpose, into wisdom, into discipline, into freedom, and maybe. That's exactly what your story can become too. If today's video changed how you think about your past, the next step is learning how to change your future. Because emotional growth is only one side of building a wealthy life.